Is it showing my face?
There goes the download. Yeah.
Hi, I'm doing a review at
It's going to pickle
a movie called Bag of Bones. It's a Stephen King movie. It's got Pierce Brosnan in it. He did a great job in that movie. I don't think I've ever seen a movie that he did that wasn't good.
Didn't get James Bond.
Well, he did a good job in James Bond movies, didn't he? And at the beginning, he had a wife, but she passed away. I believe she got hit by a vehicle, and she was pregnant, but she didn't want to tell him because there was a curse on the men in the families because they raped a blues singer back in 1939. Well, actually, one guy did. And then the other men were just standing there watching. Is it still showing? And that's the reason why she cursed them. And I believe, he killed her too. He killed her daughter too. He drowned her. How they killed her was he hit her with a rock, and then he punched her. And let me think what other parts I remember. And it actually did happen. The men who were there did drown their daughters. Except one, he tried to drown his daughter, but she shot him. Mama did. And he died, yes. He died from that shooting. And the blues singer, Sarah Tidwell, kept haunting his house. His wife was there too, but she didn't haunt the house. She was just there with him because, of course, it was his wife. Of course, she's gonna be around to watch over him and stuff like that. And he always says once for yes, twice for no. So the bell would ring once, a lot of times, of course, for yes. And sometimes the bell would fall, and it was below some sort of deer or moose. I think it was a deer. And there was also an attorney in there, and that's the one who raped Sarah Tidwell. He had bukus of money. His girlfriend, she was quite mean too. In fact, he asked her to help him take his life, which she did. He was in a wheelchair, but I don't know why. They did not explain that. There's a lot of other things I'm thinking about saying. He kept having dreams about Sarah Tidwell, her daughter running, and he would try and save her, but one of the guys did drown her. That was in that group. One of them was the grandpa of Michael Noonan.
Noonan?
Noonan.
Oh, Noonan.
What you think I said, honey?
Noonan.
What's that?
Oh, no. I thought you said Michael Noonan.
Who's that?
Oh, no. You said...
Oh, sorry.
You said Michael Noonan. I thought you said Noonan.
And Harold just sat there and watched. But he he had a kid too, and then they had a kid, but they had 2 boys, so obviously it didn't affect them because they were boys. And his wife would go up to the lake house a lot, and that's where of course Michael went, and his brother was Sid, and Sid used to hang out with his wife a lot. Sid was gay, and he said that he had trouble getting her pregnant, but he still did. He said he had a low sperm count, but it doesn't mean you cannot get someone pregnant just because of that. You still can. And yeah, he finally went up there after a while, and he had a dream he was kissing Sarah Tidwell, and all of a sudden it showed I don't know, she said something, and it showed a dead, what she looked like when she was dead after she was buried. She had, of course, 1939 to 2000 something. That's, of course, a long time. The attorney, I forget his name. It was something. It was the one that raped Sarah. He said, custody has its responsibilities, which is true. His girlfriend, she was so mean too. She was always by his side. How she killed him was, she at first put this medicine in his vein, and then she put a bag over his head, and he suffocated, of course, in the bathtub. He asked her to do it, of course. Obviously, he would have pushed her away, which he didn't. Nope. It was a 2-part movie. So the movie was over 3 hours long, which was so good. And so cool. This movie had a lot of detail. And he got a girlfriend, but she also had a daughter named Kyra, which of course Sarah wanted dead too. She didn't die, like I said, because Mom shot Dad. And we still wanted her dead. Yeah, she just kept haunting the place over and over and over again. She wouldn't stop. At nothing. And his wife kept sending him a message that's saying, "Lie will kill her bag of bones." L-Y-E. And there's some owls up there in the attic. Michael Noonan was a writer. Yes, he wrote several books. He could never write without his wife. No. He always asked her to type the thesis statement. Is that better?
I don't think at the time.
Oh. And she did. A lot of people loved his writing. He went to that one guy's funeral, and then one of the guys that was with him that day when he raped Sarah, told Michael the story. hmm And then it all made sense. And there was another part where the attorney and his girlfriend came by Michael while he was jogging. And then they said custody has its responsibilities. And his girlfriend punched him and he ended up in the lake. And of course they told him to leave. But he didn't leave. He was too smart for that. He even called him earlier in the movie and said, leave Kyra's mom alone. And he said something about shoving it up his ass or something. I think he said that, but don't quote me on it.
You want to be fist? Nothing.
No, it's just... Well, he basically said it was to leave him alone. Oh, DeVore was her last name. Oh, the attorney's name was Max DeVore, and I forget what the mom's name was, but her last name was DeVore, too. Of course, she married one of Max's kids. Yeah, I love that movie. It's worth watching. I'm recommending the movie to other people. Very much so.
What's the story?
Oh,
Story and Jeremy.
it was awesome.
What about the acting?
That was awesome too.
What about special effects or CGI? What was
I don't think there was any CGI. I think it was just all natural. But CGI is cool too.
It was made by Stephen King, so he got some good ones and bad ones too.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. He has some great movies.
And Stephen King made a lot of movies. Yeah, a whole lot of movies. I can't even name all of them.
I can't either. I haven't seen all of them, but I've seen quite a bit of
I
them.
have to.
Of course, I'm a big Stephen King fan anyway.
I've got some Stephen King movies. I got Rose Red, Cat's Eye, one of Creep shows. He also do writing on there too. The Mist. That's Stephen King too.
Is that the one about that thing where they was caught in that supermarket?
And it was in a fall.
Yeah,
Oh,
that.
shit, it was in a fall, yeah.
I didn't like the ending of that movie.
It was like interesting to me.
No, I didn't like the ending because it was like, But anyways, back to Bag of Bones.
Movie was bad.
You're funny. Like I said, watch the movie. It's really cool. Really, really cool. And then he kept having these thoughts. There was a part where Max DeVore's, of course, daughter-in-law invited him over for dinner. I mean, she, of course, was a widow. And he always tried to get custody of Kyra, her little girl. But it never worked. Even though he was an attorney and he had all that money. I don't know if he was an attorney but he had lots of money. he was rich, and people always knew he was going to be rich. And what was I going to say? What was I saying? Max was... Oh, he always tried to get the girl. Yeah, he did. And when she invited him over for dinner, she kissed the cook, so they kissed, and then Kyra asked to read her a bedtime story.
A daytime story.
No, it was bedtime.
Daytime.
You're funny. You're just messing around, aren't you?
I'll just have to watch it after the middle of it.
Oh, okay. And, excuse me. And he did, and then she told him that she was having the same dream that he had been having about the blues singer and her daughter. And about him trying to save her and Kyra. And then all of a sudden, well, she of course went to bed, the daughter did, and then he was talking to her and everything about it, about the rape and stuff, and then she got killed. She got shot in the face. It went out through the back of her head. Of course, he had a dream about that too, that he was hugging and kissing her, and then he felt the back of her head and he felt blood.
So she got see-through now, right?
A see-through what?
Yeah.
Yeah, she died. She died from it, and then he took her. Well, actually, someone tried to, and then he went outside with a hammer, and he took off the mask, and he said, "I gotta kill that little girl." He said, and he basically said no. And then he hit him with a hammer and killed him instead. And then the girl said, "Mom's dead, isn't she?" And he goes, "Yes. I'm sorry." And he took her in the car. And, his truck. And it went out, and then there was a couple other people. And they said, "You gotta end this by killing that little girl." And he said, "No. No." And they kept going forward, and a sign fell, and the other people hit, and their car blew up, and of course, they didn't show any if they had died or not, or got out of the truck.
Was it a gory movie? You
Yeah.
had blood on it, you said it wasn't no blood, no body parts like that.
No, there was, I'd say, there was little gore. It's a little. Because she got shot in the face. But, hold on. Let me get sidetracked. I want to,
Okay, go ahead.
And then, after that, he had taken her to his house, and he was going to give her a bath. She was in some wet clothes. All of a sudden, and then he had that thought in his head, like someone wanted to drown her. He's like, no. Instead he put her to bed. And then after that, something else happened, and she woke up in the morning, and she was in the bathtub in his shirt, and he's, oh wait, no, something, wait, I missed a part, hold on. And he said something about no lie, well, his wife kept sending him and said something about lie will kill her bones or something, and then he went, and he got some lie out of the attic, and then he went to her grave. He found out where her grave was, because one time he was running, he put his hand on on her, on the tree, and he had gotten some sort of, because the lady, had like sent him a message, and he got sick too. And he dug up where she was buried, and her daughter. And she tried to stop him, and then his wife came and said no, he had nothing to do with it, and the little girl didn't either. And she said something about that and then Sarah said something about she wanted to continue hurting people, I guess. And said no, and he poured the lie on Sarah and her daughter Keisha's bones, and then the curse ended. And he said to his wife, "I love you," and she said, "I love you too." And then after that, in the morning, of course, like I was saying, Kyra was in the bathtub, and somehow Max's girlfriend or wife got in the house, but before that she said no, she's here, and she had a pair of pokey scissors, and then she was trying to kill Michael, but he was strong too. He overpowered her and killed her by stabbing her in the jugular vein with a pair of scissors. And I think Kyra's mom came in spirit and was whispering something to her for a few minutes, and then she went back up in heaven. And then later on, he called the police and told about what happened with Max's wife or girlfriend, and they showed taking out the body, but probably dead, more than likely. And then Kyra said something to him because he was asking what Mommy said to her. She said that he'll take good care of her and he's ready to be a dad. And he said he is. So he ended up becoming her dad, of course. He wasn't a DNA, but, he ended up, probably more than likely ended up getting custody of her. And then that was it. Well, anyways, watch the movie. It was a great movie. And see you later.